A woman's beauty. Why is it important? Is it strictly a physical attribute that only graces us within a window of time? Is beauty the ticket that opens opportunities, which in return rewards us with the ability to walk through the doors of success? Also, does this attribute give us the admiration we need to feel important within our society? Let's take a deep dive into the topic of beauty. The human eye is highly attracted to proportion and symmetry in an object. So when you see the table set unbalanced, you can't help the nagging urge to balance it. In antiquity, wall paintings were carved, displaying balanced images throughout the natural stone. Today we call it the golden ratio, golden symmetry, or divine measure. The physical manifestation of these principles mentioned above would be a balanced spiral or the perfect triangle. Now, throughout this video, I will be using the word or phrase proportion and symmetry concurrently. So with that being said, let's start with the human's early experience with the law of balance in nature. For example, we can find proportion and symmetry in trees, plants, creatures of all kinds, and later human art. Henceforth, the human creation of enormous symmetric structures like the Egyptian pyramids, the Parthenon in Greece, England's Stonehenge, the Great Wall of China, and India's Taj Mahal. I can go on and on finding beautiful and great balanced structures in human history, not to mention the contemporary architectural art in our current culture. You're probably wondering, what are the correlations of history, buildings, and a woman's beauty? The answer: the law of symmetry has been a major factor of our human existence. Let's continue examining this compelling law of human attraction and beauty. As I mentioned earlier, the human eyes are naturally drawn to balance and proportion. It brings us to the most essential human element, the face. The eyes, in reference to the nose and mouth, are in the shape of a perfect triangle. Studies have found that an infant as early as 3 months find a well-balanced face more interesting to study than an uneven image. In addition, more studies have discovered that it is more advantageous relatively to symmetry when the human face is balanced. To clarify, this law is nature's way of influencing our discernment in choosing healthy genetic material. This, in effect, indicates the health and survival of the species. So, the goal here is to avoid genetic materials with diseases and mutations that will threaten the reproduction of the healthy species. In fact, humans are not the only species who look for symmetry before coupling. Animals across nature use this primal yet necessary indicator too. Who are the gatekeepers of women's beauty? Is it the male gaze, which inspires women to prep for hours before a date? Is it our female friends, who base their circle of friends on a social beauty hierarchy? For example, a fresh manicure and pedicure, along with displaying luxury designer bags? are a must to look desirable for the girl tribe. There is much thought about why some women place so much emphasis on what her crew looks like. With that in mind, is there a sincere interest in their girlfriend's appearances with the sentiment, if I look good, she will look good too? Or is it more devious than we could have imagined? Like, could it be the competition for the male gaze? The other aspect to beauty gatekeeping is society's magic wand as to who gets ahead in life. To demonstrate, a woman's beauty, if used wisely, can aid or gain her that special ticket to open doors in the pursuit of education, future career, as well as mating options. Women who cultivate this secret sauce enjoy pretty privilege. This also includes the quality of desirability and respectability. Society, casting its wand, could also manipulate an entire generation of women dying to fit into unattainable physical alterations through surgical procedures. It is apparent that some women are trying to obtain the trend of emulating another culture's standard of beauty. For instance, going under the knife for nose augmentation, lip fillers, bum lifts, and eyelid reconstruction. Not to mention hair dyes, hair straighteners, hair extensions, tanning beds, or bleaching skin. We should also ask ourselves, why is the beauty industry worth $500 billion? Beauty is a big business which manipulates women's sense of self. Ultimately, we need to take control of our own images and put the brakes on the beauty industry playing on our imagined insecurities. As mentioned earlier, a woman's beauty lays the foundation for success, not only for her alone, but for her future generations of offspring to come. Granted, if she is wise in selecting a future male partner who is productive, she could have the option of raising her own children as well as mentor them to prepare her children for a bright future. Men, young and old, are innately encouraged to seek a woman first for her physical assets, later for her loving and supportive nature. While women, with time and wisdom, ultimately find that men who are loving, supportive mates and strong providers are the most advantageous partners. The human male and female are like two different planets with different needs, but need each other in order to continue reproducing themselves. A point often overlooked is the political aspect of beauty. As mentioned above, the innate need to procreate is a serious factor for most animal species. That includes humans too. The most compelling evidence is creating a specific phenotype of beauty to oversaturate fashion magazines, fashion runways, television, the big screen, in hopes of reinforcing the world's standard of beauty. Remember, like any subject in society, there is a complex social construct of hierarchies. Therefore, women who naturally do not meet these standards are pressured to put themselves through physical, emotional, and financial distress trying to meet these unrealistic and ever-changing standards. Inadvertently, it causes health issues coupled with self-doubt and low self-esteem. We sometimes say, you are what you eat. However, there is another expression, you are what you attract. It works like this. If you feel undesirable, you will attract undesirable, insecure partners. This cycle of dysfunction is a recipe for current and future long-term failures in life. In contrast, the women who are graced as a standard of beauty and or adjacent to it, they will continue to enjoy the privilege of selecting higher caliber providers and supportive suitors. Therefore, they are allowed to set their lives on track for generational wealth and success. The fact of the matter is, without the social engineering and the influence of both media and print, the aspect of beauty is truly relative and varies throughout cultures globally. As a woman, I too sometimes enjoy the process of getting prepared and applying some cosmetics for a fun time stepping out. A little lip gloss, mascara, and some loose powder gives me that extra pep in my step. It is the fun ritual of being a girly girl. Henceforth, there is a cautionary side to the quest of obtaining acceptance and desirability. It goes beyond a makeup palette and cosmetic procedures. There is the factor of self-acceptance and love. When a woman fails to get past the threshold of contentment and unconditional love for self, they may become very bitter and unhappy, especially as they mature with age. In fact, we become very empty inside, competitive and envious, which is extremely exhausting and painful. The goal here is for us women to battle our personal setbacks and free ourselves of the constant burden of past trauma we refuse to leave behind. Women of a certain age are blessed to arrive at a state of contentment. The desperate need to be noticed by the male gaze and acceptance from friends have fallen in the rearview mirror of our lives. We come to a stage in our mature age where we have already experienced the paradox of womanhood. We now find time to take care of ourselves. We work out, we eat to live, and balance our me time without the permission of our loved ones. We learn that eternal beauty really lives deep down in our psyche, our being and soul. Remember the mantra, body, mind, and spirit. There's only one unique version of our beauty, which no one could touch or match. We have also learned that the essence of a woman is the birthright of sexiness, not a pair of 6-inch stiletto heels with red bottoms. The word je ne sais quoi is a French word that basically expresses the same. There's something about it. I can't put my finger on it. It's a certain confidence a woman feels when she has earned her years of learning from her mistakes. However, later on in life, she thrived. It's a space and time where she is proud to share her wisdom of pearls with the next generation of women. In conclusion, we have finally figured out women are the true gatekeepers of human existence. We have come to a full, gorgeous circle of womandom, and the most important part is we own it. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the beauty factor. So what are your thoughts on today's video? Do you or someone you know participate in the beauty hierarchy? What about evolving beauty with age? Please share your thoughts. Leave a comment below, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and the like button. Until next time, because everyone has a story. Ciao.